Hello ladies and gentlemen, Paul from HP here with the HP Pavilion X360 14. So X360 referring to its form factor. Of course it is a full 360 degree laptop, tablet, hybrid 2-in-1 from HP. And of course the 14 with its screen size. So you're seeing a much bigger display this year on the HP Pavilion X360 14. Previously this was a 13-inch. HP have managed to squeeze up to a 14-inch now, but of course without really going any bigger on that external dimension. So let's close it up, have a bit of a look at the device and work out who it's good for. So on the outside you see this IMR finish, or an injected molded resin. Plastic, I guess, for the uninitiated. On the back here though, you do have some really strong metal gears shrouded in stainless steel. They pick up the odd fingerprint or two, but a little wipe down does them pretty well. So the great thing about those hinges, they are super durable, being the fact they are a metal geared hinge shrouded in stainless steel. Nice and durable there. You see the Pavilion branding on the back. So Pavilion is one of the mainstream lineups of laptops from HP. So above it they have Envy and Spectre, and underneath they just have their traditional HP series. So Pavilion is right smack bang in the middle of affordability, but also power and performance too. So let's have a look at the ports, and as I bring this around, you can see it's got actually a slight sort of curve in the back there, which is pretty nice. Feels really good in the hand, really comfortable when you're holding it. Your kind of knuckle just sits really nicely in there actually. So on the side here you can see the HP fast charge ports, so you can charge this up nice and quick. I believe it's about flat to 50% in 45 minutes on Pavilion currently. Next to it you've got a HDMI 2.0, so good HDR functionality there. Good to see the full size port. Obviously great when students are away in accommodation, plug it into the big screen, watch Netflix or whatnot. You've got whatnot. I'm only 34. We've got a USB port, USB-A traditional port there. USB-C, now this is really good. This is a charging port as well as a video out port. So great for your docks, great for using a second charger, and the full-size SD card slot. Now as I rotate around to that leading front edge there, you can see HP actually calls this an hourglass cut. So that same curve at the back is actually at the front here as well. So your fingers really rest nicely in there, and it means you don't have to search for a way to open it. You don't have to search for some small divot that manufacturer often puts here, which is pretty annoying, but this doesn't have it. So this whole piece you can actually just, when you place down, lift from that front area. You don't really have to worry about where you grab, which I quite like. So let's swivel around to the other side, and of course we have your exhaust duct, so that's where your hot air is going to come out of, as well as a headphone or headset jack and another USB-A port. So two USB-As, one on each side, an HDMI, USB-C, SD card slot, and of course the headphone jack there. So let's have a look at the bottom. So ignore the sticker, that's of course just the prototype sticker that I get here. So on the bottom you can see a massive intake there, quite a nice little design actually. You can see there just in the light as my camera catches it a little bit unfortunately, but nonetheless you can see those little micro dots just that almost perforating the bottom piece there. Looks really nice actually, looks quite premium. The bottom of this device is still that IMR resin there too. No really noticeable screws, there is just one at the front, but these are fully repairable products. So SSD and RAM, really easy to get those replaced or swapped or changed over, upgraded, pretty straightforward if you know what you're doing. So let's open her up, and you're met with this big 14-inch display. So remember an extra inch where we had it last year. A few notable mentions: massive trackpad from HP this time around. You see this huge Microsoft Precision touchpad on the device there. Biggest trackpad I've probably seen an HP Pavilion X360 have in that smaller size. Even in the 15s of years gone by, it certainly wasn't this big. So this is actually where you start to see some alloy being used. This is a pressed alloy piece here. I think they believe they call this a D-bucket design, but essentially it's there's no seam on the top here. The seam's actually on the bottom, so it's quite hard to see, but nonetheless, that's kind of where it lips. You can see in that top corner there. So it makes it really nice when it's in front of you. There's nothing to kind of catch grime, and being alloy, it's cool to the touch, which I really love. But this keyboard is really impressive. So as I take a zoomed out approach, you see a few little niceties here. You've got that same like quintessential HP tessellation of micro dots in that fractal pattern at the top, which I really like. It's of course B&O branded, not Bang & Olufsen. This is more a brand branding play, if any real difference in sound quality, although some, of course, HP models with the Ambient Spectre range do have some superior sound, especially with the Evo certification. So looking at the keyboard, and I'll swivel this around just to get the screen out of the way for now. Pretty standard keyboard on this one here, power button on the keyboard now, not on the side. You've got your flight mode as well as all your traditional brightness and function keys. We do have on this particular model, but check on yours because not every single one will come with a backlit keyboard. This one does have a backlight on the keyboard, which you can sort of see here. It does this really cool effect where it actually goes a slightly lower stage and this highly unnecessary kind of fade out. And then if I go one more, see it fades off. I mean, it does add time to a pretty straightforward of having that half brightness, and it is very pointless, but I do love it. So all of my computers I think need to have that. It's not necessarily a feature I would write home about, but anyway, it's the little things that get my little mind going. So let's fade that out. There you can see I pushed it too many times then, but there we go, fade it out. And then of course the rest of the functions as you see. Now being the fact that this is alloy, you do that really nice sandblasted effect. So in the light, it does kind of give that little sparkle. It's a little bit metallic. It's pretty decent alloys that they're using here. So fast charge battery, good battery life overall. These will be pretty much all day. Look, depending on config, I'd expect sort of that 9+ hours depending on spec, but just check your unit to see what the exact battery life may be. So a couple of speakers, big 14-inch display. It is IPS, this particular unit. Of course, check the one you're getting, but we do have some good high brightness, high resolution displays in this lineup. And of course, narrow bezel on the side there too. So really shrinks that axis in, and by having a slightly taller area, you get some spot for some speakers, but there is quite a big chin on this model. Of course, if you do want the smaller bezels, that's where an Envy or Spectre is you go. There you have it, ladies and gents. This is a really good BYOD product. Take this to school, take it to college, take it to uni. I don't take it to the beach. It's not waterproof, but at least you'll be able to see the screen while you're watching. Anyway, there you go.